Today is Thursday, and it's the year 2017. This is this is what we now call the the seventh month, and it's the 13th day of the month. Now, 2,000 years ago, it was a month and a day, or there was months and days 2,000 years ago. And one day, an angel came from heaven looking for a specific person to deliver a specific message. That angel's name was Gabriel. Now you can read in a history book about a king named Nebuchadnezzar, and you can read about four Hebrew boys that were, just say they were chosen, because they had some qualities that might be helpful and to be in the king's service. And this was several years before Gabriel the angel was sent to speak to a girl about having a baby. And this is the same angel that came to Daniel and spoke to him after Michael assisted him. But in this case, there was no resistance, nothing that Gabriel had to go through to get to a specific person whom God had chosen to have a baby. Because God had a plan, and this plan had been mentioned in the years past to Moses had mentioned that God would raise up one like himself, a prophet. And God himself had promised a king to sit one on his throne forever. And that king had been David. David was the second king that God put over a nation. Now, there is one that is mentioned, and I will mention his name now, and we're going to say his name shall be Jesus. Now, Jesus was born. That means there was a day when Jesus began to breathe on his own. Until the day or the night that he was born, Jesus had never breathed air. Jesus had never had the breath of life. But that night in Bethlehem, Mary gave birth to this child and he began to breathe. And when he began to breathe, his father was extremely happy. Just like any father that has, loved a person and wants a child, when the child begins to breathe, the father is very happy. If the child does not breathe, the father is very distraught. Yep. Well, folks, there was a day that Jesus began to breathe. And when he had begun to breathe, there was a joy in heaven. And there were some shepherds in a field. And the glory of God shone about them. And some angels made something known to them. And folks, it sure does make me a little bit upset when people today tell me that God became a man. The day that God took on flesh, the day that God began to breathe. Folks, that is the most ignorant, misguided understanding that you, if you believe that, could possibly have. You do need to read about the angel that came to Mary and spoke to her concerning her becoming pregnant and having a child that would be the Son of God. This is not a Son of God up in heaven looking for a way to do something. Folks, I know that somebody is telling people that Jesus is God. And it's just not so, folks. It's just not so. If you would like to become a child of God and overcome the world, it is possible. But it's not going to be possible, or it's not made possible simply because someone led you in a sinner's prayer and then got you baptized in some water and got your name on a roll and told you now you are fixed and nothing can possibly stop you or keep you from living forever in the kingdom that is yet to be created. That's a lie of the devil, folks. And let me tell you, a lot of people have believed that lie. Yep. That's just the way it is, folks. There's a lot of liars out there. And I'm talking about what's coming out of their mouth is coming from their heart. And there's only two things that can be in a person's heart that I can tell you can be there. One is the spirit of truth, and the other is the spirit of error. One is of God, the other is of a god of this world, the devil. This is the end.